Have you ever wondered why, even when you're eating healthy, your legs still feel weak? Your balance feels off. And your memory seems to fade a little more each day? What if I told you? It might be because of the very vegetables you're putting on your plate? Yes, vegetables. The ones you thought were helping you might actually be holding you back. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 3 vegetables you should eat daily to sharpen your mind, strengthen your legs, and fuel your independence. The 3 common veggies that could silently weaken your circulation, joints, and even accelerate aging. And finally, the one surprising food most seniors eat weekly, thinking it's healthy, but it might be quietly eroding your strength. Let me take you back to a small kitchen in Iowa. It was a quiet Tuesday morning when I visited my Aunt Carol, 72 years old, full of spirit, and proud of her healthy habits. She made us lunch: grilled eggplant, green salad with bell peppers, and mashed potatoes. See? She smiled, I eat clean every day. But a few weeks later, she fell, right in her garden. No major injury, thank goodness. But she told me, I don't understand. I thought I was doing everything right. That moment stuck with me. And it sent me down a path of research, discovery, and a little heartbreak. Because like Aunt Carol, millions of seniors are trying so hard, but unknowingly eating foods that drain their vitality, one bite at a time. This video is not just about science or nutrition. It's about your freedom. It's about helping you walk stronger, think clearer, and live longer, with dignity and energy. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's take a quiet but powerful journey into the foods that truly support your life after 65. Because every small choice you make today shapes the life you get to live tomorrow. Number 1. The invisible war inside your plate. There's a quiet kind of war happening in many kitchens across America. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't start with sirens. But every day, on the plates of millions of seniors, it slowly chips away at strength, clarity, and independence. I didn't always see it that way. In fact, a few years ago, I thought, as many people do, that if you eat your vegetables, you're doing fine. After all, veggies are always good for you. Right? But then I met James. He's 74. Retired from the Navy. Still wakes up at 6 a.m., still irons his shirts. But lately, his legs felt weaker. He started forgetting where he put things. He told me, I feel like I'm fading. But I eat healthy, I don't get it. We looked at his meals: grilled eggplant, green bell pepper stir fry, mashed white potatoes. Lots of them. See where this is going? James wasn't eating junk food. He wasn't overindulging. He was, by all accounts, trying to do everything right. But his body wasn't 40 anymore, and the foods that once served him well were now quietly working against him. Here's what most people don't realize. As we age, our digestion slows, our blood vessels stiffen, our nervous system becomes more sensitive. Even small triggers, like the wrong type of vegetable, can lead to chronic inflammation, poor circulation, and even impaired balance or brain fog. It doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks up. You may feel a little stiffer getting out of bed. Your feet might feel colder. Or you hesitate before stepping off a curb, not because of fear, but because something inside feels just a little unstable. It's not just aging. It's often what's on your plate. And here's the bigger truth. Many common vegetables, while healthy for younger bodies, contain compounds that disrupt gut lining, inflame joints, or spike blood sugar. For a senior body, already more vulnerable, these effects add up. Quietly, steadily, and often, unnoticed. A small lesson worth remembering. Eating healthy isn't just about choosing vegetables. It's about choosing the right vegetables for the right stage of life. And once you understand the difference, it can change everything. James made one small change. He swapped out his eggplant and white potatoes for a few lesser-known power greens. 3 months later, he told me, I feel lighter, sharper, and I walk like I used to. In the next part, I'll share 3 vegetables that are not only safe for seniors, but are powerful allies in the fight against aging. They'll help you think clearer, move steadier, and protect the independence you've earned. Let's take a step forward, together. Coming up, the 3 power vegetables every senior should eat daily. Number 2. 3 power vegetables that build muscle, brain, and balance in aging bodies. When I asked James, yes, the Navy veteran from earlier, what made the biggest difference in his recovery, he didn't hesitate. It wasn't a pill. It wasn't physical therapy. It was what I put on my plate. Every day. And what he put there were 3 humble vegetables, nothing fancy, nothing expensive, but deeply powerful. They changed how his body felt, how his mind worked, and even how steady his steps became. Let me introduce them to you. like 3 old friends with gifts to offer. 1. Broccoli, the green armor for aging bodies. You've seen it 1,000 times, little green florets, steam rising from the plate. But broccoli is more than a side dish, it's a kind of shield. Packed with sulforaphane, a powerful natural compound, broccoli acts like a silent bodyguard. It reduces chronic inflammation, protects blood vessels, and supports muscle strength. For older adults, this is vital. Because inflammation isn't just a buzzword, it's the slow burn behind joint pain, brain fog, and mobility loss. One small study from Johns Hopkins even showed that sulforaphane helped improve detoxification and cognitive clarity in seniors. James started eating just half a cup of lightly steamed broccoli with dinner. A month later, his morning stiffness had eased. By month 3, he said, "I feel like my knees woke up." It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. A small cup of the right food can do more than a plate full of the wrong one. 2. Spinach, the silent engine for blood flow and brain power. Spinach isn't loud. It doesn't ask for attention. But inside its leaves? A secret superpower, natural nitrates, compounds that widen blood vessels and improve circulation. Better circulation equals more oxygen to the brain, and muscles equals clearer thoughts and stronger steps. And that's not all. Spinach is full of lutein, which nourishes the eyes and protects against macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss after 60. I remember meeting Gloria, 69, who had trouble with focus and slow reflexes. She added spinach smoothies to her breakfast, just a handful blended with banana and almond milk. 6 weeks later, she said, "My thoughts are quicker. And I don't feel so slow in the afternoons." You don't need more caffeine. You need better blood flow. And spinach helps get you there. 3. Carrots, guardians of vision, balance, and nerve health. Carrots have always been the star of school lunches, but for seniors, they're even more valuable. Rich in beta-carotene, which converts into vitamin A, carrots are essential for eye health. But here's the part few people know: vitamin also supports neuromuscular coordination, the communication between your brain and your feet. That's what helps you stay balanced when walking or turning suddenly. I once spoke with a retired teacher who started tripping over rugs in his own home. Doctors found nothing wrong. But a nutritionist suggested boosting vitamin A. He began eating raw carrots daily, grated into salads or just as snacks. A few months later, the tripping stopped. Stability doesn't just come from strong legs, it comes from the tiny nerves that help you stay upright. Carrots feed those nerves. It's easy to overlook these vegetables. They don't shout for attention. But in the background, they work tirelessly, fueling your brain, your muscles, and your freedom. The truth is, aging well isn't about chasing miracles. It's about choosing, each day, the foods that quietly build you back up. One small plate can mean stronger legs. One smoothie can mean clearer thoughts. One crunchy carrot can mean fewer falls. Up next, the surprising vegetables that could be draining your strength, but while these 3 are building you up, there are others that quietly tear you down. Vegetables that inflame, that confuse the gut, that weaken the very legs you depend on. And chances are, they're already in your kitchen. In the next section, we'll uncover 3 vegetables you should rethink today, before they do more harm than good. Number 3. The hidden dangers in common vegetables. 3 you should rethink today. When healthy becomes harmful, especially after age 60. A few weeks after James started eating more broccoli, spinach, and carrots, he called me. "I feel better," he said. "But what should I stop eating?" That's a powerful question. Because sometimes, getting healthier isn't about adding more, it's about removing what silently harms you. Let's talk about 3 vegetables that seem innocent, even healthy, but may be doing more damage than good, especially for older adults. 1. Eggplant, the joint aggravator in disguise. It's glossy. It's pretty on the plate. But for many seniors, eggplant is a quiet instigator. That's because it contains solanine, a naturally occurring compound found in nightshade vegetables. Solanine can trigger inflammation, particularly in joints, muscles, and connective tissue. For someone already dealing with arthritis, sciatica, or stiffness, it's like pouring gasoline on a slow-burning fire. Take Harold, a 71-year-old gardener I met in Arizona. He loved grilled eggplant. Ate it twice a week. But he also had nagging knee pain that never seemed to ease. On a whim, he cut out eggplant for a month. Like night and day, he said. I didn't think it was the cause, but when I stopped, I could kneel again. Not everyone reacts to solanine, but if you're feeling stiff, sore, or slower than usual, it's worth removing eggplant for a while and seeing what happens. 2. Green bell peppers, bright, crunchy, and quietly inflammatory. They're crisp, colorful, and often praised for being low calorie. But green bell peppers come with a catch. They're high in lectins, proteins that can irritate the gut lining and cause low-grade inflammation. For seniors with sensitive digestion or autoimmune concerns, lectins may interfere with nutrient absorption and even contribute to brain fog or joint pain. I spoke with Maggie, 66, who used to snack on raw green peppers every afternoon. She often felt bloated, tired, and achy by evening. Her doctor couldn't find anything wrong. After switching to cooked red peppers instead, her energy improved. "I didn't know vegetables could make me feel worse," she said. The color matters. Red, yellow, and orange bell peppers are ripened and contain fewer lectins, plus higher antioxidants. So, if you love peppers, choose the riper ones and cook them gently. 3. White potatoes, the blood sugar roller coaster. Mashed, baked, fried, white potatoes are part of the American tradition. But they're also high in simple starch, which causes rapid blood sugar spikes, and in seniors, that's a problem. Spikes in blood sugar can lead to inflammation, nerve damage, and even affect balance and mobility over time. I remember Ron, 68, a former truck driver. His meals often included mashed potatoes. But he also had tingling in his feet, slow wound healing, and unexplained fatigue. When he swapped white potatoes for sweet potatoes and fiber-rich lentils, things changed. "My legs feel warmer," he said. "And I don't nap after lunch anymore." You don't need to ditch comfort food, but swap white potatoes for colorful, lower glycemic options. Your heart, brain, and feet will thank you. A bigger truth: what's healthy for one may harm another. Each of these vegetables has benefits. But after age 60, your body isn't the same. Your digestion slows. Your inflammation threshold lowers. And your recovery time stretches longer. What once gave you energy may now take it away. That's not failure. That's wisdom. The body speaks, sometimes in whispers, and when we listen, we start healing. Coming next, real stories of change from seniors just like you. Now that you know which vegetables to lean on, and which to limit, you might wonder, does it really make a difference? The answer is yes. And the best proof comes from real people. In the next part, I'll share 3 powerful stories of seniors who changed their plates and changed their lives. Simple swaps. Real results. And maybe a reflection of your own story, too. Number 4. Real stories from seniors. What changed when they changed their veggies? Because sometimes, the smallest changes lead to the biggest transformations. Sometimes we don't need more research papers. We need real stories. Real people. Real results. Because when you're 65 or 75 or even 85, what matters most isn't a fancy study, it's knowing someone like you has walked this path and found light on the other side. So today, I want to share 3 stories. Each one is simple. Each one is real. And each one proves, when you give your body the right food, it responds. 1. Maria, 69, from numb feet to sunset walks. Maria lives in Santa Fe. A retired librarian, gentle and soft-spoken. But for years, she lived with numbness in her toes, especially in the mornings. "I used to love walking in the evenings," she said. "But I started tripping. And eventually, I stopped going out." Her doctor tested for diabetes. Nothing showed up. But one dietitian noticed something else. Maria ate white potatoes almost daily. Mashed. Fried. Baked. Always on her plate. She was asked to replace them with roasted sweet potatoes, lentils, and greens. Within weeks, the tingling faded. And within 3 months, she was back to her daily walks. "They're just small steps," she smiled, "but they're mine again." Sometimes, it's not the big diseases, it's the little choices that slowly steal your freedom. Change them, and your life opens up again. 2. David, 74, a mind reawakened by green leaves. David was a jazz musician from Chicago. He told me, "I used to remember every note, every set list. But then I'd forget my keys. My phone. Even names I'd known for years." His doctor suspected early cognitive decline. But rather than panic, David tried something small. He started eating a handful of spinach every morning, sautéed with garlic and olive oil. He also swapped green bell peppers, which he used to love raw, for ripe red ones, lightly cooked. "I can't explain it," he said, "but after a few weeks, the fog lifted. I felt sharper, like my brain had more space to breathe." The brain needs blood flow, oxygen, and nutrients. Spinach helps deliver all 3. Even memory needs to be fed. 3. Eileen and George, 71 and 75, a couple's quiet revolution. They had been married for 49 years. And for the past decade, every Sunday meant roasted eggplant, garlic bread, and red wine. But George had worsening arthritis in his hips. Aline started noticing balance issues when walking downstairs. Their daughter, a physical therapist, suggested a food experiment. Cut out eggplant. Add steamed broccoli and a daily carrot smoothie. They were skeptical. But they tried. Together. 2 months later, George said his hips felt looser. Aline laughed. I don't grip the handrail like it's a lifeline anymore. And they still have their Sundays, just with a different recipe. Changing your diet doesn't have to mean giving up tradition. It just means redefining it, with love, and a little creativity. Every body is different. But every body, even aging ones, is always listening. Feed it the right way, and you'll be amazed at how it responds. Not overnight. Not magically. But steadily. Quietly. Kindly. And that's the magic of food. It doesn't just fill us. It rebuilds us. One bite at a time. Coming up, how to build a daily vegetable habit that supports strength, brain, and balance inspired by these stories. Wondering where to begin? In the next section, I'll walk you through how to build a simple daily veggie habit, no stress, no diets, just smart, consistent choices. We'll explore what to eat in the morning, how to prepare vegetables without losing nutrients, and how to gently build strength, clarity, and mobility. One meal at a time. Let's make it doable. Let's make it yours. Number 5. How to build a daily vegetable habit that keeps you mobile and sharp, because the real transformation begins when knowledge meets consistency. It's one thing to know what vegetables are good for you. It's another thing to actually eat them, day in and day out, without stress, without guilt, and without feeling like you're stuck in a diet. That's where the magic lies. Not in information. In habit. So let's talk about how to make these life-supporting vegetables part of your daily rhythm, without flipping your world upside down. Start with one small morning win. Most seniors skip vegetables at breakfast. But that's a missed opportunity. Try this: a handful of spinach blended into a morning smoothie with banana and almond milk. Or sautéed lightly with scrambled eggs and a sprinkle of turmeric. Why it works: spinach boosts circulation and brain clarity, right when you need energy to start your day. Rita, 65, told me, I never liked breakfast. But that spinach smoothie? It became the one thing I looked forward to. Lunch, make it colorful, make it crunchy. Lunch is the perfect time for raw or lightly steamed vegetables. A typical plate could look like this: grated carrot salad with lemon juice, a cup of steamed broccoli with olive oil, quinoa or lentils for added protein and fiber. Keep it simple, no heavy sauces. Just clean, vibrant flavors. Even adding half a cup of vegetables can stabilize blood sugar and support afternoon energy. Bill, 70, used to feel groggy every afternoon. After switching from a sandwich to a broccoli carrot chickpea bowl, he said, I don't need my 2 p.m. nap anymore. Dinner, gentle, warm, and easy to digest. Evening meals should feel soothing, not heavy. Swap white potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes or mashed cauliflower. Add steamed spinach, carrots, or zucchini. And avoid raw veggies late at night, they're harder to digest for aging stomachs. Why it matters: evening inflammation or indigestion can disturb your sleep, your joints, and even your memory. 3 keys to keeping the habit alive: cook once, eat twice, steam or roast a batch of veggies on Sunday. Keep them in containers for quick weekday meals. Don't aim for perfect, aim for better. If you miss a day, don't quit. Just return tomorrow. Your body will still thank you. Keep it visible. When vegetables are ready to eat and in sight, you're far more likely to eat them. Try a vegetable tray in the fridge, pre-cut, pre-cooked, easy to grab. One small habit can shift everything. Change doesn't happen in a single meal. But over time, your body begins to recognize and respond. Clarity comes back. Mobility improves. And most importantly, you begin to feel capable again. You don't need a strict diet. You just need a plate that respects the season of life you're in. And that's what a vegetable habit really is: daily respect for your future self. Coming up, debunking the myth, I've eaten that all my life and I'm fine. Now, maybe you've been thinking, but I've eaten eggplant or potatoes my whole life, and I turned out okay. That's a fair thought. But aging changes everything. And in the next section, we'll break down why some foods only start causing problems later in life, and how to know if they're affecting you now. It's not about blame. It's about awareness. And that awareness might just save your strength, your memory, and your mobility. Let's walk through it together. Number 6. Debunking myths, but I've eaten that my whole life and I'm fine. Why what worked at 40 might quietly harm you at 70. This is one of the most common things I hear from seniors, often said with a smile and a shrug: but I've eaten that my whole life. And I'm just fine. And you know what? You're right. You were fine. For a long time. But aging changes the rules. Your body at 30 is not your body at 70 at 30, your blood vessels are elastic. Your kidneys filter faster. Your nerves recover quicker. Your gut lining is more resilient. But by 65 or 70, your metabolism slows, your gut becomes more sensitive, your inflammatory response grows louder, and your margin for error shrinks. So while your younger self might have handled nightshades or blood sugar spikes without issue, your current body may be whispering things you've overlooked. Joint stiffness that wasn't there before, foggy thinking that comes and goes, loss of balance or leg fatigue that feels new but familiar. Let me tell you about Louisa. 73. Louisa was proud of her Italian cooking, especially her famous eggplant lasagna. She told me, "I've made it every Sunday since I was 25. It's tradition." But over the past year, she noticed her knees hurt more. Her fingers stiffened in the mornings. She blamed it on age and weather. Still, out of curiosity, she agreed to a 2-month challenge: no eggplant, no green bell peppers, fewer white potatoes. Instead, she used zucchini in her lasagna. She swapped white potatoes for lentils and roasted carrots. After 4 weeks, her hands moved easier. By week 8, her knees felt 10 years younger. "I wish I had tried this sooner," she said. Turns out, tradition is beautiful, but it can evolve. The gentle truth: I've been fine doesn't mean I'll stay fine. Our bodies are not static. They change. They adapt. And the foods that once gave us energy might one day take it away. This isn't failure. This isn't fear. It's biology. And it's also an opportunity. Because when we listen to our bodies, not our habits, we start writing a new chapter of health. Don't judge a food by your past experience, judge it by your present response. If your body is sending signals, fatigue, stiffness, fog, it might be time to reevaluate what's on your plate. You haven't done anything wrong. But you now have a chance to do something even more right. You've learned what to eat, what to avoid, and how to build the habit. Now, in the final section, we'll bring it all together. Because at the end of the day, it's not about perfection. It's about progress, tiny choices that ripple outward, protecting your mind, your strength, and your freedom. Let's take that final step, together. Number 7. Your body votes with every bite, choosing strength over struggle, because every small choice becomes a step toward the life you still deserve. There's a quiet truth I've come to believe after years of listening to seniors, doctors, and my own body: you don't age all at once. You age meal by meal, step by step, choice by choice. And that's not meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. Because if every bite matters, then you have more power than you think. Your body is always listening. It doesn't expect you to be perfect. It doesn't need gourmet meals or expensive diets. It just needs consistency. And kindness. The kind of kindness that looks like swapping white potatoes for roasted carrots, replacing eggplant with steamed zucchini, adding spinach to your morning eggs, saying yes to broccoli, even when you're not craving greens. Each of these is a vote. Not just for health, but for energy, memory, balance, dignity, freedom. James did it. So did Maria. So can you. Remember James, the Navy vet with weak legs? He didn't start running marathons. He just changed what was on his plate. And step by step, his strength returned. Maria? Her numb toes started to tingle again, in the best way. Rita, Bill, Louisa, they each made small changes. Some took weeks. Others, months. But what they all said was the same: I didn't realize how bad I felt. Until I started feeling better. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to choose wisely at the next meal. Then again at the next one. And again tomorrow. Let those small choices stack up. They become strength. They become clarity. They become freedom. And maybe most of all, they become hope. If this video spoke to you, even just a little, know this: you are not too old to change. You are not too late to begin. And you are absolutely worth the effort. So take a moment now. Think of one vegetable you'll add. And one you'll let go of. Then share it in the comments, because when we share, we inspire. And when we inspire, we change lives, starting with our own. Before you go, write pointing finger emoji. If you found this video helpful, leave a 1 in the comments. Write pointing finger emoji. If you didn't, leave a 0 so we can keep improving. Write pointing finger emoji. And if you want more stories, science, and gentle guidance just like this, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Thank you for spending these moments with me. May your next meal be your next step toward strength. And may you never stop believing in the quiet power inside you.